Beautiful. Welcome to our Be in Your Heart activation workshop. And I've asked people to share where you're from and your intention for this workshop. Amazing to have people here from Portugal, Scotland, Ireland. Where we got Belfast. Amazing. I'm a therapeutic sound healer practitioner. My intention to shed my plain small skin and connect with parts of me that are saying, "Let me out." Absolutely. Amazing, amazing. Okay, beautiful, beautiful to have you here with us, and thank you for being in this sacred container for tonight. And perhaps some of you might have already experienced the work that I do and some of my online content and the gifts that I put out there with also the beautiful students of the Shamanic Activations Academy. But tonight I'm here to share a little bit of my journey and perhaps some wisdom that is going to support you in your journey, and to really gift you the little nuggets of knowledge that I picked up along the way that have proved to be successful for me, and really completely changed the way that I work, and also the way that I support myself with my work. So welcome here, and I want to also honor your presence here tonight. And obviously you could have been anywhere, but your heart has brought you here, and that means something. You've heard the calling. There's been something going on in the background that has told you this workshop is something that I want to connect with, and perhaps it will help me shift. But again, my name is Fed. I'm the founder of the Shamanic Activations Academy, also the creator of Shamanic Transcendence Therapy, which is a beautiful therapy that blends naturopathy, neurolinguistic programming, and shamanism. Which I've been delivering to my students, and so amazing to see their growth during the course, and also in the therapies that they are developing. And I also run the Heartpreneur Business Alchemy Blueprint, which is a mastermind and also a continuing professional development program for healers and therapists that want to create, to align, and to rise with their gifts. So it's just an opportunity really to remember all the gifts, all the beautiful essence of you that can really shape some of your future if we get to really appreciate everything that we are. So I'd like to take a moment to start our ceremony essentially together this evening. And for me, ceremonial work is always really important, but also from a neurolinguistic programming point of view, it's about us getting present, being here in the space, ready to receive, and perhaps to make a little bit of room to allow ourselves to be in an optimal space for us to learn, and also for us to start visioning and creating an amazing future. So I'd like to invite you to close your eyes for a second and bring your hands to your heart if that feels comfortable, and taking a nice deep breath in, inviting gratitude into your chest, and then letting go of anything that doesn't serve you right now. And again, another deep breath in, inviting gratitude and feeling that expansion in your chest. And then again, letting go of the to-do list, all the should-haves, all the could-haves, anything that is in the way. And one more deep breath in, this time inviting love into your heart and holding on to the breath there at the top. Feeling this love energy that is here for you. And when you're ready, blowing into someone who needs it in this world. And my wish and intention tonight is to serve, to be a clear vessel, to be able to gift knowledge, and to be able to open up hearts to be in your heart. Aho, awen. So when you're ready, coming back to full consciousness, and we're opening this sacred container tonight together, and really creating a space for you to manifest abundance, to manifest your purpose, to manifest anything that really can shift anything that you deserve in this life, and also perhaps to refine the gifts that you're already practicing if you already have a business, if you're a therapist or a healer already. and is to really as well explore this method, this shifts that I've been working with, that hopefully will really give you some insight in some of the things that at the moment perhaps are not working in what you're trying to achieve. And before we proceed, I would like to invite you as well to be present for yourselves. There is a handbook that you can use as well to jot down notes and to write down anything that is important for you. But most importantly, to stay active. The more you interact, the more you give feedback, and the more you're going to take away from this workshop. I'll tell you already from the offset that there's no selling, so there's nothing for you to get worried about. You're not going to be presented with an offer at the end for you to sign up to or anything like that. I'm simply here to share wisdom. So I want you to be present, to be participating, and to try and make the most out of the time that we have together so that you can learn, and hopefully this will also help me serve what is needed from yourselves. So if you haven't already, pop a little comment in the chat as well about where you're from, and if you have an intention or a wish for tonight, please do that. But like I said, tonight is about aligning with your truth, reconnecting with your heart, and to leave with a roadmap that will support you to step into a life that your soul has been really knowing that has always been possible, and perhaps we've forgotten along the way. And before we proceed, I would like to make sure that we are going to be in the space of learning in a way that is fun as well. And I'm going to share with you a little cartoon, let's say, which is a little story that I put together on digitally. So it all comes from a story that I wrote, which is the Be in Your Heart scrolls, and essentially is a story that connects us to the beautiful wisdom that sometimes we can get through storytelling. And this is the story of Cariad, which is a guy. Cariad is the Welsh word for love. That's his name. And he's an unassuming guy just plodding along his life. And he's greeted by a guide who takes him on a journey. And I'll let you watch this first and connect with this story that hopefully will give us some insight for us to work with. So let me share my screen. Okay, just one second, and welcome Ryan. Welcome to the space. We're just starting, so I'm just going to be showing just this little short clip of a story that I created. So 2 seconds. Here we go. Cariad didn't consider himself special. He wasn't one of those people who had visions of mountaintops or downloaded their life purpose mid-breathwork. He was just trying to feel less like a tight jumper, trying to catch a break, trying to shake the deep, quiet ache that something important had gone missing and had been for a very long time. Lately, he'd been feeling a buzz, not a sound, a sensation, low in his chest, just beneath the heart, like a memory that couldn't form, like a bee dreaming beneath his ribs. It came during the quiet moments, brushing his teeth, laying awake at 3:17 a.m., stirring cold coffee, and then came the whisper, not words exactly, just sound, familiar, ancient, almost sweet. And then, on a completely average Tuesday, the world transformed. As dusk settled, Cariad stepped outside and glanced upwards, his breath caught. A glowing blue spiral unfurled across the heavens, shimmering against the twilight. It was as if the universe had decided to doodle galaxies above Wales. He wasn't alone in this craze. Social media buzzed with images and theories. UFO sightings over Europe. Is this a portal to another dimension? Anyone else seen this cosmic snail trail? Official sources later attributed the spectacle to SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launch, its frozen fuel creating the luminous world as it reflected sunlight. But in that moment, explanations didn't matter. Cariad felt the hum intensifying within him, resonating with the celestial spiral. What if there is a portal to another world, a different dimension, one that makes more sense than this one? The thought lingered, shimmering like the spiral above. And then pause. Not slowed, stopped. A pigeon froze mid-flap over Castle Square. A leaf held its position mid-fall. A bus hovered just above the roundabout, tires no longer touching the tarmac. Even the clouds above Swansea altered their drift, like the sky was holding its breath. And then came the hum. Ow! It wasn't loud, but it was everywhere. It vibrated through his bones. It sang through the cracks in his chest. It felt like something inside him, something old and wise, had just sat up and whispered, "Now." And then came the voice. "Took you long enough, love." Cariad turned. Floating a few feet off the ground was a bee, but not the kind that buzzed around jam jars or through gardens. This one shimmered in golden spirals, her wings soft like silk and strong like prophecy. Her eyes were ancient, mischievous and kind. "I'm Owen," she said, with a slight bow, "and you, Cariad Bach, have finally heard the call." Cariad blinked. "I what?" Owen hovered closer, inspecting him with a look that was part queen, part auntie, and part "you're late for your own awakening." "You've been humming the question for a while now. The one all this has been waiting for." She gestured dramatically at the frozen scene around them. She cleared her throat and sang softly. "What if there is a portal to another world, a different dimension, one that makes more sense than this one?" Cariad stared. "How did you—" "You whispered it," Owen interrupted, "and the heart field heard you." "The what field?" "The heart field, love. Capital H, capital F, the real web of connection, the hum beneath everything. You felt it, didn't you?" He hesitated. "Maybe. I thought it was indigestion." She grinned. "Common mistake. Nope. It was the beginning of remembering." She reached into a pouch hidden beneath her thorax. "Don't ask." And pulled out a glowing spiral stone, humming gently. "Take this. It will guide you. When it buzzes, you move. The path begins in the Vale. Thinkinswood burial chamber. She remembers what you forgot." He took the stone. It was warm, alive. "I'm dreaming," he mumbled. Owen arched an eyebrow. "Oh, sweetheart, if this were a dream, I'd be floating in a hot spring sipping kombucha out of chalices carved from moonstone. This is Wales. It's real, and it's just beginning." There you go. So that's a little introduction of a story, and that obviously is telling us about Cariad, love, being greeted by Awen, which is the Celtic druid name for the force of life, for inspiration. And the story of Cariad, although he goes on onto a quest across Wales to sacred sites where he's being presented with elders giving him wisdom for him to do some shadow work at each site, it's pretty much the story of all of us in our lifetime, navigating maybe from one problem to another and trying to remember who we are, and maybe something that we have forgotten, and something that perhaps might change the course of our life as well. And I want to really tell you a little bit about myself and the journey that I had, not to go into any detail or to bore you, but so that you understand how I got to this point. So I'm from the Republic of San Marino, which is a tiny republic in Italy. I've lived in Wales for almost 30 years now. But in my upbringing, I had a lot of things going wrong. So I was born into a family where my parents got married when my mum was 15, my father was 18. So they started a family very young. And we lived with my grandparents. My parents were working, so I attached to my grandmother more than to my actual parents. And in growing up, there was a little bit of religion. Not that there were strong practicing Catholics, but I was going to church on a Sunday. And around that time, I also started receiving a lot of bullying for being overweight, for wearing glasses, all sorts of things, for being gay. Although I didn't even know that I was gay myself at that, until much later on. But nevertheless, there was a lot of negativity, and because I didn't have a lot of friends, I grew closer and closer attached to the church, to the extent that I felt the vocation. I wanted to become a priest, and at the age of 16, I ended up telling my priest that I was gay, or that I had some thoughts about being gay, and he told me that I would burn in hell. So that was a really, really deep trauma. It ended up sending me into a spiral. I tried to commit suicide, didn't succeed, clearly. But not long after that, I also came out to my family. Every single person turned against me. So even, those little places where I thought I was safe didn't exist anymore for me. And by the age of 18, I finished my A levels and I moved to the UK, to Wales, where I'm still living now. And not because I didn't want to go back, but just because life took its course. So as I continued to journey through life, I got into the rat race, put myself through university, but I also got into a relationship that ended up being a violent relationship. So for 4 years, I kind of lost myself, lost financially, I lost all my friends once again, and I was really, really isolated. But nevertheless, continued to plow and went from job to job, had an incredible career, had a lot of successes, and really enjoyed what I was doing. But what I wasn't doing was to look after myself. So I was a chief exec of a domestic violence charity, had a lot of beautiful opportunities. I was at Downing Street 3 times, met incredible people in this world, but I was eating junk all the time. I was staying up until really late. I was overworked, tired, depressed. I was really overweight by this point, and no energy. It was literally work, 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 work. And in 2014, my body decided to give me a little bit of a sign. Well, maybe a strong sign. I collapsed in the middle of the road in London, woke up in Euston Hospital, not knowing what happened. And it was just stress. But I ended up taking some time out. I had 3 months off. And during that time, I started really questioning, what if, things could be different? What if I could have a very different life? I knew that there was something more to life than what I was experiencing. And I decided to go and retrain. So I went down the naturopathy path, because I knew a friend of mine was doing a naturopathy course, and in the space of a month, my inflammation disappeared. So I didn't have any more my carpal tunnel. I didn't have my chronic sinus. I started losing weight. I was feeling more energetic, and that was all in the space of a month through just changing my nutrition and looking after myself a little bit more. I also started exploring other holistic therapies. Kind of felt like I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. So I went from course to course to course. Put your hand up if you have signed up to a million courses that you have not attended, and they're probably still waiting in your inbox for you to start. If you're one of those, I'm the first one to put my hand up. I still do it now, because I'm inspired, I want to learn. But there was a lot of drive behind me telling me, you're not good enough. You need to you need to know more. You need to have more qualifications. So I studied reflexology, yoga, all sorts of things, but could not make a buck. As in, I would go out and advertise myself, put some posts on social media, and I was only charging £30 an hour for reflexology, and yet I still had people asking me for discounts or telling me that they couldn't afford it. So I did a lot of energy work, so basically giving a lot of healing for free, hoping for a review or something else, and still couldn't pay my bills. And I went back to work. I worked for Virgin Atlantic in a call center. Woohoo! Not what I wanted to do, but I needed money. But in the meantime, I continued, with wanting to improve my life, and I had as well an opportunity to go to a conference to Tony Robbins, and I didn't like the guy, but it was just a case that someone had a really cheap ticket, and I ended up going, thinking it was a sign from the universe. Didn't have a penny at that point. Nevertheless, by day 3, I transformed so much. I experienced such incredible turnarounds and shifts that on day 3, I phoned the bank, got a loan out for £8,000 and signed up to every single program that Tony Robbins had to offer. Put myself through all of that, went back for more. I went and did the leadership program with Tony Robbins, spent another 7 grand to train myself to understand how to deliver his programs. Amazing wisdom, but it was still really hard to win the business. Now, don't get me wrong, I started putting myself out. I was running courses, a little bit of coaching, put out my first program to support men to improve their life. And all of a sudden, I had 8 guys signed up to a program that was £1,200. So all of a sudden, I had some money coming in, but it was really, really hard to keep it going. I was launching, and then it was disappearing. So I would get people signing up at the beginning, and then all of that would disappear. And nevertheless, during that journey, a lot of shifts, a lot of things changing in my life. I started feeling more and more aligned, and also this sense of spirituality opening up, which is what I've always grew up with, not just from a religious point of view, but also from the fact that my parents were my grandparents. They were farmers. They sowed their seeds with the cycles of the moon. They went foraging, so they were very connected to nature and animals. And I felt all of this stuff coming back alive within me, and I ended up then going down the shamanic path and also qualified there. So lots of whistles, lots of tools under my belt. Still could not pull it all together until the ha-ha moment. A little bit like Cariad, I had this moment of the question, what if? What if I could actually manifest the life that I always wanted? And what if is a really pivotal question for anyone to ask, because the moment that we ask, what if, we create the solution. So the moment that someone asked, what if there's something at the end of this universe? Then we discovered and researched the technology to go and find out whether that was a possibility. And of course, we ended up with different universes, the quantum and all of that. In the same way, is there something smaller than a cell? And went all the way down to the atoms and then down to the eons, and we keep on going because someone has asked the question, what if there is something? So the moment that you are posing the question, when you're creating, that possibility that something could be different, you create a reality, you create an opportunity for you to start, delving into and exploring and researching and maybe manifest something new. Remember that from a scientific point of view, nothing can be demonstrated to be true or false. There cannot be any empirical evidence to discredit one opinion over another. There's a lot of different things that we can obviously go and research, but the point that I'm making here, when someone is saying, is this true or is it false? Is there a God? Is there an afterlife? We don't have any evidence one way or the other. So what it is true is what you believe. Your belief guides what you believe to be true and what you believe to be wrong or not true. So what if is the starting point of this journey this evening. And I would like to inspire you to really start thinking about what if I could create a different reality for myself. Hence this little mirror here as an opportunity for you to pause for a moment and maybe ponder whether, life might not be that hard. Maybe I can create something that is easier for me. Maybe I need to start, or I need to stop trying to do things alone. Maybe I need guidance. Maybe I need to be held. I need to be seen. I need to be putting myself out there in a way that is more authentic, or in a way that maybe feels easier. Maybe I need guidance. Whatever it is at this moment in time, just ponder for yourself, what if this business, these ideas that I have to help others didn't have to be such a grind. Maybe it was more of a ritual. It was my way of living my life. So it just felt like an extension of myself, of what I like to do. And all of this is really for us to start retraining, in a sense, our nervous system, because very often we are in that fight or flight mode where we have deep ingrained patterns that come from traumas that we had in childhood, like the ones that I've experienced, where I was told you'll never have a family, you will never be able to marry, you will never find love, you will never have kids, you will never succeed and achieve anything in life. I can promise you, I've overcome all of that and beyond. I was the first guy to get married in Wales and back in San Marino. I was married, I fostered children, I found love, and I've overcome all of those things that I was told I would never be able to do. I've been on television several times. Like I said, I've had opportunities to meet the prime ministers, and had accolades and acknowledgements for the work that I've done. So I'm proud of myself. But this is to say that the moment that you set yourself that intention to go deeper, to go further, to fight for what is right for you, then you can really start manifesting that reality if you put yourself in that place of alignment. And this is really what we're going to be exploring with this journey this evening. So, like I said, tonight is not about me, it's more about you. It's about remembering who you really are. And maybe you feel stuck, maybe you want to grow a heart-led business, or maybe you want to attract more abundance. Maybe there's more to life than what you've seen so far. I can promise you that you're not broken. You just have not been shown how to build from the heart, which is the very point of this Be in Your Heart activation workshop. So let's delve into these 3 shifts that I'm going to explain. So this is a method that has really empowered me to do the work that I do and to turn things around. So this is the method that I teach my students, that I teach the people that I coach, and really something that I feel is coming from my heart, because it is truly what I believe. So the first shift that we are going to be exploring here is align. And align is about remembering who you are. And we need to start from the point of understanding what could be the blocks in your life from a physical, emotional, and spiritual or energetic point of view. Whatever you believe, that spirit or soul jargon might be right for you. But this is about really rewiring, reframing the inner safety and the soulful alignment that we all have. So tuning back to the days of being a child. What was your dream? Who did you want to be? Did you want to be a singer? Did you want to be an astronaut? Did you want to be a pilot? Did you want to be a housewife? Whatever it was, reconnect with your roots, reconnect with those dreams, and really feel the energy of those thoughts. Yeah, there was excitement. Yeah, there was what's the word I'm looking for? There was just being a child, just innocence. Yeah, it's just hoping that, knowing that we can achieve anything. We can daydream. We can really go out there with these thoughts when we're a child, because we're not being crushed by the suppressive, thoughts that other people around us have. We're playing. And if you've been in the healing or therapeutic space, maybe you've been healing for decades, yeah, and been going from retreat to retreat, from a treatment to another, from a course to another, like I've done, but somehow you still feel stuck because your nervous system is fried. And maybe you still have the doubts, the imposter syndrome, the trauma loops that are keeping you playing small, where we don't want to go on social media, we don't want to do a little live video because maybe we make mistakes, or maybe someone will comment and criticize what we're doing, and we keep pulling ourselves off our path. And maybe you've been asking yourself, what's wrong with me? and why can't I just get going with all of my gifts? So like I said, let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with this, because so many people that I speak to are in this position and experience these issues, and perhaps you end up feeling that you're just misaligned. But in a sense, here is about really aligning to our core. And what I would like you to do, whether you got the handbook or you can write down on a piece of paper, I would like really to start thinking about the blocks that we might have. And I'd like you to name and clearly define the number one block that you feel is standing in your way right now. Maybe is an illness, maybe it's something physical, maybe you're feeling down, maybe you feel foggy and that you have no energy, or it may be something emotional. Maybe there's a trauma, maybe there's these beliefs or patterns around not being good enough, not emotions as well that might be in the way. Or perhaps it's something bigger than that. Maybe you're not connected to source. You don't know what your purpose, your wider sort of purpose in the world is, whether there's a greater sense of wanting to do good in this world, in the universe. So what is your number one block? And please pop it into the comments so that I can read some of those out. And remember that alignment is not anything for us to stress about, is to bring awareness. When we shine that torch into the most remote crevices of our physical, emotional, spiritual being, and the more we can do something about it. So put it in the comments, what's the number one block holding you back from showing up fully in your work or in your life, if this is not about work? Lack of confidence about not being good enough. Absolutely. Self-belief. Self-belief, being shy. And whilst I read another couple of comments, anyone that would like to go deeper, keep writing them down. Remember, when you are writing them down, you're naming them. So this is about bringing awareness to those patterns, distraction, avoiding me, and being the expert. Absolutely. I don't feel a heart connection to who I will serve. Absolutely. We're going to get to that as well, Carrie. Self-criticism. Absolutely. The inner critic. Hello. Self-sabotaging. Illness. Absolutely. Physical stuff as well. Imposter syndrome too. I have physical block from an accident, so can't do my work of 35 years, so now have an emotional block of lack. Absolutely. Scarcity mindset, that's another one that very often comes up. It's like I'm resisting my own skill and mastery. Absolutely, not recognizing the gifts. Amazing, amazing. Okay, keep them coming. So now that you have named it, you have the opportunity there to start doing something about it. And this is where the work that we do as an academy and with our coaching programs is all about bringing that alignment in. And you probably have heard and have experienced and met, the wounded healers of this world. And maybe you feel like you're one of them as well. And I can promise you, I've been there. Yeah. And I can, let me actually say something here, because I love to explain this bit. I trust the power of imperfection, for starters. And I will tell you, frankly, with no hesitation, that I'm imperfect in beautiful ways. People call me crazy, and I say I don't suffer from it. I enjoy it. It's like this is about really embracing all your faults. Yeah, because everyone has got faults. When you don't hide behind your mistakes, when you're not trying to be perfect and you're authentic and you're bringing that beautiful medicine, that allows other people to also be open with it, to connect with you. So you don't be surprised if at some point during the workshop, if I go, oh, I forgot something, or I close the call and you all disappear and you have no, that's not going to happen, but it has happened before. Okay, so trust yourself in all the beauty that you are, in everything that has led you to this point, all of those um, pain points, all of those traumas, instances, problems, everything that you have faced, every adversity has made you who you are. And all of that is a gift. The moment that I don't shy away, the moment that I bring awareness, when we do our align circles on a Monday, we have themes every week dealing with imposter syndrome, dealing with the inner critic, all these beautiful things that you've already mentioned in there as well. So we keep talking about it. We bring, a little bit of light, a little bit of wisdom into the topic so that we understand it. It's not about running away from it. It's not about healing it. Is about welcoming it and understanding, because the moment that we understand, we can let go of what feels like a problem because now we've learned from it. So it's really important to continue to do that work to align yourself. And this is the easiest point really that I want to make, that alignment is actually simple. In your mind, in your heart, and in your gut what is right for you. Yeah, let me give you an example. Let's talk about, a naughty word, McDonald's, right? So you probably have come across McDonald's in your lifetime, okay? So I'm sure that everyone has, even if you don't like McDonald's, okay? So it's just an example. So you may feel hungry, yeah, and you're just driving past one of those million stores, you can't miss it, yeah, and you're hungry, okay? So at some point, a thought will go into your brain and go, oh, I'm hungry, there's McDonald's by here. Do I know in my brain whether it's good for me? Yeah, and you might give yourself all sorts of reasons to argue against yourself that is good for you, but deep down in your brain that is not. Okay, that is not the right food for you. So that's the first thing. Let's talk about the brain. What is going on in the brain? So I can acknowledge that there's something that is misaligned. I'm not telling you to stop yourself from eating the McDonald's, but it's just acknowledging that there's thoughts there in the brain that are telling you, maybe that's not right for me. And if you have that niggle in your brain, you should be tuning in and listen to what the brain is telling you. Secondly, do I know it in my heart? Do you know that the heart has got more neuroreceptors than the gut and the brain put together? And the actual communication in terms of actual signaling goes from the heart to the head, from the head to the gut. So the heart is the first to know, right? There's research behind this. Our magnetic field of the heart is 8 meters around. We perceive, we feel things around us before we actually intellectualize them. Yeah, so they've done actually an experiment where they showed people pictures of things, of various things, and gave them a clicker and told them to click every time that they saw something they liked. And the more they clicked on the images, the more scientists were able to actually tell that sometimes people were clicking milliseconds before the image appeared of something that they liked. So it's almost like the heart can predict, and then the heart will tell the brain. So I'm in front of McDonald's. Does my heart love McDonald's? Maybe I got memories attached to McDonald's from when I was a kid or whatever. Does the heart guide you to McDonald's? I can promise you, again, there's probably going to be a niggle at some point. Yeah, despite the memory, there will probably be also something that connects you to, I didn't feel that great after that meal that I remember from a time before that I went to McDonald's. So again, let's tune in. Is there something wrong in the heart? Do I feel that's not right for me? And let's tune into the gut feeling. Yeah, so the gut feels as well. Maybe you're starving, but I can promise you, if you ate at McDonald's, maybe you can stuff yourself for sure. But the brain, but the body, the gut will tell you that was not what I was looking for. I was actually looking for something nutritious, and despite the fact that you've eaten and scoffed yourself to death, I'm now still hungry and I go back for more, because your body is hungry, because you haven't given it what it needs. So again, there may be something in my gut that is telling me that is not for me, it's not right for me. So really tuning in into our three brains can be an amazing way to start feeling that alignment. But in essence, this is not the journey of perfection. Yeah. So like I said earlier on, I know that I'm imperfect. I will have the naughty foods. Bring Christmas, bring Easter. There's all sorts of naughty stuff around. Okay, so I can have those things, but I know that A is not good for me. I also know that if I indulge, then I need to work extra hard to bring myself back into alignment. And that might be physical. I know that if I indulge in an emotion because someone has crossed me and I feel, I'm going to murder this person, I know that that's not a good emotion for me to be in. So I need to do something to bring myself back to feeling calm. Maybe I need to do some breaths that I'm feeling my heart. Yeah. And the same, when it comes to feeling spiritual, I know if I'm gossiping, that that's not going to help someone, even if they don't hear me. I know that energetically that's not the right thing to do, but yet we can still indulge. So the point is not about being perfect, it's about acknowledging these blocks, these things that are in the way of our alignment, and then doing some work to try and come back to the center. Yeah. You're not going to do it all the time, but it's about that journey of keeping to do it, because the more I do it, the more I regulate myself, the more I retrain myself, the more I brainwash myself to know that these things are going to help me in the long run. Okay, so that's the starting point, is to really think about that alignment and to think about the importance of being in that alignment all the time. So I want to keep doing the work. If I shy away, the imposter syndrome is going to come back. If I shy away, I will get the inflammation coming back. If I don't listen to all of this stuff, all of those things that I've worked on will eventually come back. So it's about continuing to look at yourself, to do the inner work. That is what is going to shift you. So really paying attention, getting informed, doing the exercises, the breath work, the meditation, whatever it is that you need, because you know what is right for you, but it is about making that commitment to yourself. That is the first shift, is about align. Okay? Are you all with me? You're good so far? Amazing, amazing. Okay, so turning the page, we're going to go to the next one. So the second shift is to create. Create is a beautiful, beautiful way for us to start talking about purpose, and is about going from confusion to clarity. So it's about finding your way and to offer a way of helping people, maybe in this world, that comes from your soul. So for me, being in my heart, this is the little motto that if you come across me, if you ever come to my retreats, my sound baths, whatever it is that I do, this is what I talk about all the time. Be in your heart. To be in your heart for me means doing what you love, with the people you love, in the places you love, all day, every day. That's the rule. That's my law, right? So what that means is about really understanding the people that you like to spend time with. Okay. Now, let's take out of our head the people that maybe I'm currently around. Yeah. So maybe I'm stacking shelves in Tesco's part-time. Maybe I do have some clients that come to me, and some that I love working with and some that I don't. Maybe I'm in the wrong relationship, or maybe my children are doing my boxing. Whatever it is, start acknowledging the people that you like to spend time with, right? Those are your people. The people that you feel, I want more of this. I wish I could be with you all the time. You're my friends. You're the people that elevate me, not the ones that are talking behind my back. Not, the parents that are making you feel like you're a 16-year-old, even if you're in your 40s. Not the people that, will criticize and keep you down. Those are sometimes dynamics that we can't avoid, but we don't need to give them the power. We need to start discerning and really start thinking, who do I like to spend time with? Because if you start from that point of view, then the people that are your clients should be people that when you see them, it doesn't feel like a job. It doesn't feel like there's any effort. The conversation is flowing. You don't feel guarded, that you need to hold yourself back, or that you need to pretend to be someone else because you're trying to impress, or maybe you're trying to show that you're professional when maybe you don't know exactly what to say when someone is telling you what they're feeling, what they're experiencing. This is about feeling that you can be authentic in the presence of the people that you want to work with. And doing what exactly? So maybe you have already qualifications, maybe you already have tried different professions, whether it is in the holistic world or whether it is in other professions. But again, is it what you love doing, or is it what you had to do because you were in scarcity mindset, because you needed money? Yeah. So I went to work in Virgin Atlantic not because I love being on the phone, not because I like to be in a call center, not because I like to work for Virgin Atlantic. Absolutely none of that. It was just because I needed money, right? And I despised that job. I despised every other job that I had, because no matter how much I worked hard, no matter about the achievements that I was having, yeah, it felt like a chore. It felt like I was benefiting someone else's pockets. It felt like I was doing things that I didn't really want to do, and sometimes getting told off by management because I didn't do it the way that they wanted me to, blah, 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 and all of that stuff. So what is it that you like to do? Go back to your childhood, go back to those dreams about what fires you up. Yeah. And some people think, but yeah, I mean, I liked picking daisies, right? I can't make a living out of that. I can promise you can. I can promise you can. You can make a living out of picking flowers. You can, if that's what you like to do. There's plenty of jobs out there in the world where you can go and work on a flower factory, if that's what you want to do. I can promise you, whatever your dream was, that is part of your purpose. It's about tapping into those things that really make us feel amazing, incredible, like I'm flowing with this. For me, I love doing this. I'm spending time with amazing people that I'm meeting. Sometimes there's beautiful exchanges. Sometimes, I get a little bit of insight into something that reflects a side of me. So I'm learning at the same time. I run retreats, I run sound baths, I run courses. I can share my knowledge. I am excited. I can tell you, I wake up excited about what the day may bring, and I go to bed grateful for what I've experienced today, for what I've received, whatever it is. Every day is a different lesson, every day is a different story. But it's about living in that energy that makes you feel that you are on point, that you're doing what you're meant to be doing. And the places that you're in. So, do you like your workplace? Do you like where you normally do these things? I like to spend time in nature. So, retreats are my place. I like to be in ceremony. So, I like beautiful buildings. Even if this is a false background, I would love to have a shamanic boardroom like this one. But if I turn the background off, I can promise you, behind me, there's my altar, there's my drum, there's my feathers, there's all my tools that I use for work. And I surrounded myself within my house with the things that make me feel happy, the things that make me feel at home. So that when I'm in this room doing this work, I feel like I'm in ceremony, the same as if I was in a retreat, right? It's about making your environment uplift you rather than dragging you down. So if you're living next door to a railway line and every half an hour a train is going past and your windows are shaking, what is that doing to your nervous system? If you're living in a place that has got no natural light, what is that doing to you? Does that uplift you, or do you feel like, oh, I need to go out for walks all the time because I can't stand being in my house? Maybe your house is not working. Maybe it's about the place you're in, terms of like the location. Maybe you prefer being by a beach rather than being in the middle of the mountains, or the other way around, or you don't want to be in the town center. You would prefer to live in the outskirts, and yet we feel that we are anchored into the location that we land in. You're not a seed of a plant that once is rooted, you cannot move. Yeah, you can obviously make those decisions and manifest it, and make sure that you're leading yourself to an environment that works for you. So all of this to say that we need to start tuning into those things, like doing what you love, in the places that you love, with the people that you love. So those are the three key points of this shift if you want to create a life that is out of the ordinary, extraordinary life for yourself. So in this particular shift, I'm going to help you with a tool. There's lots of other tools that I share, but obviously in the time that we have here, I'm going to just share this little insight, and I'll give you some stuff that you can access for free as well after the workshop if you want to go and have a look. But essentially tonight we're going to be working on what is called your niche, your client avatar. And perhaps you already know who you like to work with. Let me challenge you a little bit. Maybe we can go deeper with this. But essentially, is also in your handbooks, I'm going to ask you to create a sentence. And the sentence that you are going to create is going to speak of your essence, of what really is your purpose. And it's going to start with I help. Okay, so you're going to write down I help. If you don't have the book, that's the first bit. So I help blank. This is where you're going to write the type of people that you like to work with. So this could be men, it could be women, it can be both, but it's about firstly understanding that maybe there's a specific age of the people that you like to work with. Maybe there's a specific situation or a specific condition. It could be I like to work, I like to help men with mental health. Maybe I like to help women with menopause symptoms. Maybe I like to help people that experience anxiety. You know, who are the people that you resonate with or that you know how to help the most? Yeah. And perhaps this is going to be connecting with something that comes from your journey. So what I've already mentioned in terms of, those traumas, those negative beliefs, those things that you've experienced in your lifetime, that you've overcome those. Yeah, they led you here. Yeah. So for myself, I love to work with healers and therapists. Why? Because as a healer, as a therapist, I struggled all my life. So having got to a place where things are flowing, I want to pass those gifts on. Yeah, so that is my people. So you really need to start thinking about who are the people that I want to spend time with. And whilst you're doing this, whilst you're thinking about it, some people might be thinking, hang on a minute, I need money, right? I want to have a little bit extra. Maybe I'm not abundant enough right now, or maybe I'm struggling. So why would I restrict myself? Why not put a message out there on Facebook that goes, hey, I'm a reflexologist. Hey, I'm a coach, or whatever you are. Yeah. And have everyone come in for a number of reasons. Firstly, if you do that, remember, you're not everyone's healer. You're not everyone's therapist. So there will be already people that are not going to listen to you. On top of that, Facebook doesn't really work. It's not going to show your post to all of the people that you want to reach out to. Secondly, if you are generic, those people that maybe would be the most aligned, the people that you like to spend time with, maybe some of them are not going to hear your message because they think it's just another post, because there's millions of other posts, millions of other adverts, millions of other leaflets or whatever. So this is about speaking directly to the people that you like to work with, because when you are targeting that audience, they're going to be more responsive. And if those are the people that you like to work with, then that's going to be aligned for you, but is aligned for them as well. So, maybe you have already had the experience of getting some people coming to you, walking through the door, and you go, oh, I wish they didn't come. Yeah, or like I really don't like their energy, or like I wish they left, or oof, like all sorts of things like that. Yeah, the moment that you start thinking about, not everyone is your client, but also you're not everyone's healer. It works both ways. And there are people that will come to this workshop, people that are signing up to my coaching, or people that are signing up to my course, that I've had to say no to, because when I have my initial chat, I need to feel that I want to spend time with you. And I want to know that you want to spend time with me, because we're going to be spending 15 months together. We are going to be on retreats together. And if I can't stand you, I'd rather not have you there, and I'd rather not have your money. Yeah. And the other way around, because I'm not going to be able to serve someone that does not connect with me. Now you might think, okay, but if they're paying, clearly, they wanna be working with you. It doesn't necessarily work that way, because if it does not feel aligned at some point, those niggles that the brain, the heart, or the gut are telling me, yeah, are gonna flare up. There's going to be something that is going to shake the boat, and then guess who's gonna have to do the shadow work? Me, not them. So I'd rather start really being clear with myself that maybe there's something here that I need to tune into and listen, and I would rather not take that person on because it's not going to be my client. There's plenty of other places where that person can turn to. Okay, so in the same way, I want you to really think about, who are the people that you like to spend time with, and also don't feel that you are a tree with the roots deep into the ground, that niche is never going to change. Because I want to give you an example here of a friend of mine who started her career working with women that were overwhelmed and experiencing anxiety, because that was her story. So that was her niche, and she went out there and she had a very successful business. She had 6,000 people in a Facebook group, and lots of money and opportunities that came out of that. But 5 years down the road, she wasn't in overwhelm. She was not anxious anymore. And then she started thinking, and I remember having this conversation, and she was like, they're doing my boxing. Every time that I go online and I chat to these people that I'm coaching, these women that I'm coaching, they are reminding me of where I was when I started, but that's not me anymore. I don't want to be in that energy anymore, because it's just a constant reminder. And I've done this for 5 years and no more. I don't want to be doing it anymore. And she changed a niche. You can do that. You're not fixed. Okay, so this is also about you growing and understanding that as you grow, or you change, or maybe you refine in your message, your niche can change as well. But setting a niche to begin with is going to be really helpful, because you're going to connect directly with the people that you can help, and the people that you like to spend time with. So I help blank, write it there. Second, with. Yeah, so word with and another blank. So what is it that you can help people with? Maybe it's something in your history. Yeah, maybe this is something to do with those traumas, those experiences that you had in your lifetime. Yeah, so I like to help people. I like to help healers and therapists with overwhelm. Guess who was overwhelmed in his lifetime? Me. So that is the people, like probably yourselves, because you heard this call, because that's my message when I advertise, when I put my posts out there. This is the language that I speak. I want to connect with people that are struggling, with healers and therapists that don't know how to put themselves out there. Yeah, so that is my language, and that's the reason that you're here. That's the calling that you answered to. So in the same way, what is it that you can help these people with? Yeah, what are those problems that you have overcome? Because the moment that you start from yourself, yeah, when you start really understanding those struggles that have become your superpowers, yeah, because you're still here to tell the tale, yeah. So that journey that you had is what can inspire others. And when we are qualifying in beautiful practices and beautiful therapies and all of that, and maybe we start doubting ourselves, maybe we feel amazing, now I got the qualification, but am I good enough to do this work? And maybe you even got someone by your side that tells you that you're not good enough. Maybe you're in a narcissistic relationship. Anything like that. So it doesn't matter. It's not about your qualifications. It's about the fact that sometimes we feel that no matter what we know, no matter what we do, things are not going to work. So what you really want to start thinking about in that is about everything that you have already succeeded in life with. So if you have a story, if you have, a skill, if you have a lifetime event, that you managed to overcome, that's your superpower. That's why we can't shy away from them. If I say to you that I've had all of these problems, like I told you in my history, you will resonate with some of those things. Not all of you, yeah, but not all of you are going to be my clients. But what I'm telling you is that there will be people that have experienced overwhelm like I did. And guess what? I've overcome the overwhelm. So I've got medicine, I've got wisdom that I can pass on. And you're going to lap it up if I tell you that I do, because you see me where I am. You see the journey that I had, and I can give you the shortcuts. I can give you, the easy way rather than knocking on all those wrong doors that I did as well, in getting to this point. So in the same way, if you are telling the people that you would like to help, look, I've overcome this, automatically that is doing away with your imposter syndrome, because you can talk about your story, because you know what you've done. You know what you have done to overcome those difficulties. So you don't have to pretend, you don't have to, blag it. You don't have to, to pretend that you got, more knowledge or qualifications or whatever else, just because you need to prove a point, or just because you need to win a customer because you need the money. Yeah. So this is about really appreciating the journey that you had. So I help whatever your people are with, whatever the issue is that they are experiencing. And then the last part of your sentence is going to be so that blank. So that what do they want? What do they want to experience? Why are they coming to you? Yeah. So I help healers and therapists with overwhelm so that they can be abundant and have an incredible life. That's my niche. Yeah. So this is telling people what are the benefits that they're going to experience by working with you. What are they going to achieve? How is their life going to change? How is their business going to change? Their health, their mindset, whatever it is. What is the benefit? When you're done with your sentence, guess what? I would love for you to pop it in the comments so that we can read some of these beautiful, beautiful gifts that you're going to be putting in the world. So please go and share so that I can read them out. But really think about that. I help the type of client overcome the problem so that the benefits. So this shift alone can really unlock everything. Visibility, income, it can give you more impact because you're speaking directly to the hearts of the people that you are meant to be working with. Yeah, so this is not about, trying, it's not about striving, it's not about, doing the hard work, grafting. This is about putting something out there that resonates. It creates a ripple. And even if it's not, think about this as well. Let me tell you. So when we are qualified, yeah, so whatever you might have studied, whatever you might have done as a profession, maybe you trained, maybe it's not a qualification, maybe it's life experience. I'll give you the example of me getting the qualification as a therapist. I loved reflexology so much that as soon as I got my little certificate, I went online and tried to buy the domain, the reflexologist, right? Because I wanted to be the best reflexologist in the world. I loved it that much. I didn't buy the domain, but that was the intention. That was to be the best reflexologist in the world. And guess what happened? I put myself out on social media. Look, got my certificate. Yeah, I'm a reflexologist. Come and get it. Come and get it. And then there was crickets. Because the moment that you are claiming a title, you are putting immediately yourself in competition with everyone else that has got the same title, especially if you got another reflexologist either side of you in the street. All right. So if you are claiming your title, you are in competition with everyone else. If you use your niche and other tools that I can explain to you, again, there's plenty of stuff that I could cover here, but really the juice of this is that if you understand who you're serving, what it is that you like to do, and how you're going to take people on that journey, is not about the qualification, is about the journey. is about your unique method. So if you were to say, I can help women that are experiencing menopause symptoms through nutrition and mindset, yeah, I've already created a sense of the journey that those people are going to be on. So this is not about being a nutritionist. It's not about doing mindset. This is about connecting with a group of people that you can take on a journey. So when you are establishing a method, a framework, as opposed to a therapy, yeah, a qualification, a title, that's where your world explodes, because those people that feel that that's the journey that they need to be on will be attracted to you, because you're speaking their language. You're giving them a sense of what they're going to be doing by working with you. It's not about, oh, I'm going to try reflexology and see if it works. Oh, I'm going to try some breath work and see if it works. This is about, oh, there's this person that really can help someone with these symptoms or this particular problem. Yeah, because you named it. So I identify with that, and now they're telling me something that maybe I tried, maybe I didn't, but now I can see, yeah, that they got specific expertise with these people and they're going to take me to destination. So that is how it can really unlock things. So, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we got, I want to help people to become aware of their energy, in the frequency field, and how this is a mirror of ourself, and empower and heal to heal themselves by them self offering guidance and assistance with sound therapy and Reiki to do so. Beautiful. I would like to help spiritual people and healers heal their emotional and mental traumas so that they can realize their own ambitions and the truth of who they really are by being on their own authentic path. Absolutely beautiful, Linda. Keep them coming. I help open-minded souls that are willing to explore their inner world and shadows so that they can take responsibility and feel more authentically themselves. Beautiful, amazing, amazing, amazing. Look, how does that feel? How does that feel to put that statement out there? Maybe you have done this before, maybe this is the first time, but how does that shift your view of the work that you want to do? Doesn't that feel somewhat more expansive? Because it does for me, because I'm tuning out everything else. So all of a sudden I'm feeling like, ooh, I now know. I now know what I'm doing. I understand my purpose. Makes me feel so good. Beautiful. Absolutely. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so I like I know what I want to do when I don't think so, when I don't think I do. Look, yeah, yeah, so that's giving you purpose. Now all of a sudden it's like, haha, that's what I like to do. Amazing. I can promise you, when you step in the energy of that statement, it gives you purpose, it gives you connection, it makes you feel in flow. Yeah, and it's like I said earlier on, I'm doing what I love with the people that I love in the places that I love. I could have put my signature to this life many moons ago, but I didn't, because it was all blocked. Yeah, I had all sorts of stuff going on. I work with people who are going through life changes or feel stuck to connect with and harness the innate wisdom and power of their dreams to live more empowered, spiritually connected, and conscious lives. Amazing, amazing. See, look, all of this stuff is absolutely insane. I love to see these statements coming through because they're really, really powerful, and they put that energy out there. It's like setting your spiritual sat nav, which we're going to be talking a little bit more in the next shift as well. Amazing. So keep them coming. I'll come back to those, but I want to take you into the third shift, which is the rise. And the rise is really about you awakening to your true nature. Yeah, so this is about, now I stepped into purpose. I know exactly what I'm doing, who I'm doing it with, what I want to deliver, the journey that I'm taking people off on, the programs or whatever it is, my services, what I'm putting out there. So I've understood all of that in Create. That's what we do when we are gathering in our Create circles on a Wednesday. We work on our business with all the students, all the people that I'm coaching. We keep developing, yeah, the method. Yeah, what is it exactly that I'm putting out there, so that I got clarity, so that it's aligned to my niche. So really understanding all of that. But when we go into the Rise shift, which is the work that we do on a Friday, is about understanding, some people will resonate with this, how therapists and healers and people that want to help others end up with the burnout, the overwhelm that I experienced. And why is that? Because when we are putting ourselves out there, maybe we got the qualifications, and maybe we started advertising or whatever. It's not about just doing what you love in the places that you love, with the people that you love. It's also that you're running a business, right? So now you have to be an accountant. You need to also be a marketer. And then you need to also know how to write copy. And then you need to know how to set up your website and technology to make it all work. And then you need to also deliver your services, your booking systems. You need to send invoices, all of that stuff, right? And I know, I can tell you, first of all, my degree was in business administration and marketing. So I already had a little bit of knowledge, but the world is changing. Social media didn't exist when I did my degree, so like at that point, all of the stuff that I do now was obsolete, well, I didn't even know, so I had to learn a lot of stuff. But equally, as much as I had that degree, all of the courses that I've been on, not one course, other than giving me the qualification, gave me the tools to run a business, to understand how to be successful in business. And especially now, we are at such an exciting point in our history where there is so much support that you can access through technology in particular. And put your hand up if you're a technophobe. Okay, first of all, if there is someone that doesn't like technology, first mantra of this particular bit is about telling yourself, I love technology and technology loves me. And secondly, there's another mantra for this particular shift. I love numbers and numbers love me. So this is really about you understanding all the tools, all the frameworks, all the automations that can make your life simple and easy, because your purpose, about doing what you love with the people that you love in the places that you love, is not spending 16 hours per day trying to understand how to set up your website and still getting it wrong. Yeah, your purpose is not trying to chase after people, to set an appointment in your calendar or to pay your invoice because they've forgotten, right? Your purpose is not that. That is business stuff. Yeah, and a lot of that can be automated. There's a lot of things that you can make happen whilst you sleep. So if I give you an example of me running one of my courses, at the beginning, it was very different. I can tell you I had quite a journey in that sense as well. But once I recorded my course and once I got my little hub where I'm going to plonk my course, my recordings, the handbooks, and all the beautiful stuff that I created, and I got an automation. So the people like you, I put a little message out on Facebook. I run adverts. I don't live on Facebook, despite what you might see. Yeah, I don't live on Facebook. I go on Facebook once a month. I upload my posts for the month. That takes me about an hour to create and upload and schedule. That takes me an hour. They go out automatically during the month. I got Facebook adverts that are targeting exactly my audience. I spend £10 per day on my adverts, and they get me. I know you look at the people, we've got 10 people on this call. I had 67 people signed up to this workshop. Last week, 120. Not everyone shows up. Yeah, some people do, some people don't. But I got 120 people, 67 people. I got their emails. I can continue the conversation. They are getting the replay if they haven't showed up, so they can still watch the content. Maybe they'll start seeing my social media posts because now we are interacting. Maybe they're gonna get one of my automated emails or a text message because I've set them up. I don't have to do that. All I do is this. I spend time with you because this is what I like to do. And then when I have people on my courses, they watch the lessons, they download the resources. I show up 3 times a week Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 2 hours each to do the coaching because I serve. I want to spend time with people that have invested in me and I'm making myself available for them, right? I choose when I work, I choose, how I want to support people and how much I want to support people, but I'm in close connection. I always do my best to make sure that I meet their needs, that I deliver my heart, that I'm there when they break down and say, "Oh, I can't do this course anymore." I couldn't do the assignment. I lost my assignment, whatever it is. I show up to support my clients, but it gives me joy. It's not a chore. So I work 7, 8 hours with my clients per week. The rest takes care of itself. I don't have to do all of that crazy stuff. I've got an amazing partner who helps as well with admin, with a little bit of the marketing side that he really, really likes. But we show up, we do our sound baths together. So this is about understanding what are those things that I can do without, that I can outsource. Outsource doesn't mean necessarily having to pay someone else, but you could. You could even have a VA, virtual assistant. You can have someone who actually will charge £7, £8 per hour to do stuff for you. Anything, right? You can never look. Virtual assistant agency. Sign up. They send you candidates. You choose, like you're recruiting. £7, £8 per hour. Go on Fiverr. Fiverr with 2 R's at the end. You can post what you need done. People will bid. Right? Some people will do a website for you for 60 quid on Fiverr, right? Go and check it out. ChatGPT, AI, artificial intelligence. So much that you can get done through artificial intelligence. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm not telling you to cut corners and get artificial intelligence to do stuff for you. But remember, the people disagreed or had fears and worries about Google. Searching on Google. Now, everyone knows Google and everyone goes to do Google searches. The same is happening with AI. AI can do a lot of stuff much quicker. So making use of technology to support your business needs can make things easy peasy. And I teach all of that. I teach all of the things that can support you, but you need to make it work for you. You need to really understand, what is it that I don't enjoy doing? And that's the stuff that needs to go, because that depletes your energy. So if you want to rise, is to rise with grace, doing those beautiful things that you enjoy doing, and not the stuff that sucks the life out of you. Yeah, so it's about really understanding how you can make your life easy. So I mentioned earlier on as well, is about kind of setting as well your spiritual sat nav, right? So this is about manifesting. If you want to manifest abundance, if you want to live the life of your dreams, is about rising, is about cutting out all the stuff that you don't want to do, finding systems, finding ways of making your life easy so that you can get to your higher purpose. Your higher purpose, yeah, this is not about the work bit, yeah. What is your why? What is your why? What is it that you want to do in your life if you didn't have to work? If you had all the money, if you had all the abundance, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to sit on a beach all day, sunbathing, sipping kombucha out of chalices carved of moonstone or whatever it is? Or, is it spending more time with your family? Is it buying the house of your dreams, buying land and setting up a retreat? What is it? What is your why? Your why is the most important thing when it comes to manifesting. So this is about visioning the end result. Because when you're clear about where you're going, what is it exactly that you want to manifest the abundance for, then everything will align. I'll give you an example of a beautiful story, I wouldn't say. Alice in Wonderland. Okay, so Alice in Wonderland at one point gets lost and she's in front of the cat and she's asking the cat for direction, right? And she's saying, "I'm lost. Which road shall I choose at this fork?" And the cat asks, "Where are you trying to go?" She said, "Well, I don't know because I'm lost." And the cat says, well, then it doesn't matter which road you choose because they'll both lead exactly nowhere. You need to know where you're going. What is your final destination? The moment that you do that, like I said, it's like setting your spiritual sat nav and telling you that that is what you want. When you start daydreaming, when you start really thinking about what it is that you want to manifest, you'll start recognizing the signs from the universe that you're on the right path. Yeah, and all of it's almost like if I was to tell you, I'll pick a car at random. My partner's got a Honda Yaris. Do you know what a Honda Yaris looks like? Okay, some people say yes, some people say no. I can promise you that now that I told you about an Honda Yaris, if you went on Google, their old dear friend, and Google it and look at what Honda Yaris looks like, tomorrow all you'll see on the road is on the Yaris, right? Everywhere. Because now you're activated your reticular activating system, so you're going to be tuned in. The same happens when you're focused on your dreams. The moment you name it, the moment you write it down, you're setting everything to that destination. And guess what? You're going to see all those on the Yarises, all the signs from the universe to tell you, yeah, look, now I got a client. Oh yeah, I got an idea. Oh yeah, I manifested, I put an advert and it's getting a lot of comments because you're in that energy. So this is about thinking about your why. Where is it that you're going? And what I would like you to do, and this could be something that you're going to carry on doing after this workshop, is what I did quite a few years back, but it's about really setting that vision. So what I would like you to do is to write, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? And what you need to do is to write it in present tense. So although you're writing where you'll be in 5 years from now, you're going to write it down as if it's already happened. Yeah, so I am in whatever place you are, doing whatever it is you're doing, feeling whatever emotion you're feeling, with the people that are around you and that you see there. Make it vivid, make it bright, make it clear, make it specific. Yeah, I have XXX amount of money. I have, this house, the walls are this color that I wanted, and I can smell this perfume in the house because that's what the flowers that I buy, are smelling, whatever it is. But make it specific, yeah, because that is your why. That's where you're going. So when there's a saying from Tony Robbins, right? He says, and that people don't fail in life because they aim high and miss. People fail in life because they aim low and hit. So set your standard high, because it's like an arrow. Yeah, if you aim high, you might come down a little bit, but you might still hit the target. If the target is down here and I aim for that, I might hit the target that low. Yeah, but if I aim high, maybe I'm hitting somewhere higher, right? So this is about really having that vision of what you're going to be manifesting for yourself. Okay, so write it down in present tense. Yeah, so you're already there. You're already feeling that energy. And if anyone is brave enough, come and share it as well in the chat. Like I said, this might be something that you continue to work with and that you continue to journal, to write down, because the more specific you are and the better is going to be manifesting for you. Some people do vision boards, so that you got something that you can stare at all the time, or even if you leave it on the side, even if you just have it like I did on the side of the bed. I didn't look at it every day, but every day it was there on the side, and my little subliminal message went in every day. You could actually put it, you could do a vision board, you could do it digitally, you can do it on Canva, and then that could be your screensaver. Now, how many times do you shove the phone in front of you? How many times are you looking at that screen? If the screensaver is your dream, you're going to put your dream into your psyche constantly. How many people hate passwords? I forgot my password all the time. I saw you, Linda. Okay, so now password. Choose a password that is your dream. If you're writing down, I want to have cats, yeah? Your password is going to be cats123 and whatever, star symbol afterwards. Choose the words for your password that you're going to have to put in all the time, because every time that you're writing it, it's going to put in that dream into your being because you're thinking about it. So it's always there in your awareness. Yeah. So these are little tricks. There's lots more that we cover when we're doing this work on the Friday, but it's all about manifesting that vision. Is about thinking about the systems. Is whatever technology I can use so that I can have my day, more time daydreaming. Yeah. So it's all about understanding that. So write that vision, make it clear, make it palpable, make it vibrant, so that you believe it. Yeah. When I create a course, when I create a retreat, it's not just the planning. I actually see the people there. I hear in my head, yeah, what people are doing, what people are saying afterwards. When people are coming up going, that was amazing. Yeah, I actually see that happening in my head because I imagine it, I daydream about it, and then it manifests. Remember, imagination from a number of different points of view. If I tell you from a scientific point of view, we can talk about what's the word that I'm looking for? It will come back to me. From a neurolinguistic point of view, we want to think. Wait a minute, it will come back. I completely lost the word. See, I told you earlier on I wasn't perfect. Now it will come back. Come on, I'm gonna blush. um, completely blank. Uh, oh, I was talking about is it kind of is so is the neuroplasticity. So this is where I'm going to be reframing the way that I think, rewiring myself. So the more I try to manifest anything and has come back to me, it's about the fact that the brain cannot distinguish between what the eyes see and what I imagine. So if I close my eyes and I start imagining something, my brain believes that it happened. Okay, so if you can imagine yourself with the life of your dreams, having achieved everything that you want to do, the brain believes it, and that kind of regulates your nervous system to know how to act, how to interact with reality, because it's already happened. So, for example, if you are on the stage, some people talked about the imposter syndrome or being shy, for example. If you can close your eyes, important, you need to close your eyes first of all so that you don't have anything else, but you imagine yourself in that situation where normally you would get scared of talking in front of people, or where you feel the imposter syndrome. Your eyes are closed, you imagine that situation, and then you imagine reacting in a way that is different from your normal. Yeah, seeing yourself being able to speak in front of people, seeing yourself not being shy, seeing yourself being in your power, in your stride. Your brain believes that that has happened. Yeah, you might think that this is woo-woo. Yeah, but I can promise you, the more you do it, and the more that regulates your nervous system to not feel that anxiety. Yeah, to start regulating yourself. So this is neurolinguistic programming. But even from a more woo-woo point of view, imagination. Yeah, break it down. I, magic, nation. Imagination is the nation, the place where I create my magic. When I can imagine, I can rewire, I can create that reality. Do you remember the beginning of this workshop? What if I could manifest the life of my dreams? The moment that I think about it, the moment that I imagine it, I can create it. Okay, so that's the power of imagination. Okay, so has anyone written it down? Has anyone written down their why, their vision? Where are you going to be? What are you going to do? Who with? Come on, Shannon. I can see that smile. I know that there's a vision there somewhere. Carrie, Clarissa. Ooh, lots of people have turned their cameras off as well. Come on, shy people, come back, come back. I am living in Kokaban, living a full, healthy, joyous, abundant life, running workshops and looking after dogs for their holidays, while the majority of my time I'm traveling the world, growing and learning spiritually. I'll come with you on that journey. Amazing. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. That is your why. Yeah, not what you do, is where you're going, yeah, where you want to be. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, keep them coming. I'll come back to some of those visions, but I wanted to just bring this to an end. I know obviously our time together is running and running away, and here I got a beautiful picture of alignment that is really just to tell you once more, that it's not about being perfect. It's about trusting yourself, tuning in, doing the inner work, understanding those signs that are keeping you playing small, or those things that are difficult, and actually embracing them as part of your journey, turning, transmuting, transcending those problems into your solutions, your superpowers. Yeah, so that you can feel empowered to speak your truth. Look, I'm ADHD, I'm imperfect, I forget things. You've seen that, as part of me. I'm not shying away. I know that, I make mistakes, because when I do, and I say that I do, my students feel that they can make a mistake, that it's okay, that nobody's going to shout at them, and we grow together. We go on these beautiful journeys where we can really support each other. I'm not on a pedestal. I'm part of the journey. You're not necessarily a beacon of light to guide others. You are taking people on the journey with you, because people are connecting, those people in your niche. So I really want to hopefully leave an empowered message. I can see there's another comment as well. I'm very powerful, intuitive healer. I'm living in mountains with beautiful scenery. I am extremely, we've lost the last bit there, high energy and consciousness. Amazing, amazing. And picture yourself, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. It's a beautiful way of leading your life with that end result in your mind. So, as I said to you, there's no hard sale. There's nothing here that I've come to push you into. But what I would like to say is that I love doing this work, and to help people, and to really bring these opportunities for us to grow and to explore sometimes, notions, or to really understand those things that can shift you forward. Same as you are here tonight, I will be staying on. So once I finish blabbing on about these bits of wisdom that I wanted to share, I'll stay on if anyone has got any questions, if anyone would like any specific guidance as well. But what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to put in the chat, and you will have an email after this as well, so that you can also connect with that if you have a chance. But here in the chat, I'm going to put my contact details, so that if anyone would like to book a call with me to have a chat about this stuff, or to see if I can support your journey further, like I said, it's all about alignment. If it's something that you feel, oh, it did speak some truth, I learned something, I would like to go further, get in touch, we'll have a chat. Again, even on that call, there's no hard selling. It's just about exploring where you're at and what you might need, and how I might be able to support you. And a little gift as well that I would like to give all of you, staying with me until the bitter end. So what I'm going to give you, I'm going to share with you my website. So if you go to shamanicactivations.co.uk, the little gift that you've got here is that when you go into the website, there's lots of stuff that you can go and have a look at. But can you see this button on the side which says free STT assessment? So this is free shamanic transcendence therapy assessment. Is a deep dive. So I'm not going to tell you that it's easy, but if you would like to get some knowledge about your physical, emotional, and spiritual blocks, it's a questionnaire. It's like a self-assessment. There's a lot about your medical history of your family, how your body works, how you think, mindset. We assess the chakras and all of that. You get lots and lots and lots of insight, and that's free. So you can start your journey if you would like to start exploring some of the things that might be in your way. And when you start doing that assessment, you can also try out a month of free membership. So there's no commitment. you renew at the end of the month if it's something that you would like to do, which is the Mastery Circle. So you can start your free assessment there. And if you come and have a look under the Mastery Circle, you see that there's these three portals that are Align, Create, and Rise, like what you've experienced tonight. So Align is all about inner work, is about doing that assessment, and you get a lot of there's few tools and resources. Some of you have already joined School as well, which is our online community, so you can join it from there. And the emails as well that I sent from this workshop. There's lots of resources. You can connect with the students. We do free online ceremonies every Fire Festival. So every 6 weeks we're online where the students bring breath work, meditation, drum journeys, for us to gift back to the healers and therapist community out there. So come and join us. The next one will be for Samhain, which is for Halloween. Create, there's already a couple of tools there under Create that you can go and explore around setting your niche, understanding your journey, the type of businesses that you can run. So you can have a look around that, but there's lots of other tools that obviously we work with for people that are signed up to the membership or to my courses. And Rise, you can go and have a look as well at the technology that we use. We have the Be in Your Heart Tech Hub, which is essentially a place where a piece of technology that in one place you can do everything: your website, your funnels, your emails, social media, planning, invoicing, everything in one place that I give access and training to, and technical support. So literally I went out of the way to make sure that people are supported so that they're not stuck with the stuff that I've experienced myself. So you can go there, free STT assessment, 1 month of having a play around with some of the tools, and you can also come along to the Align, Create, and Rise coaching calls, which are on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for a month. Dip your toes in, see if you like the community, if you like the people that are journeying with me and the stuff that I do. That is my gift for you sticking with me until the bitter end. I hope you enjoyed this evening. Please, please, please give me feedback. Please, please, please leave a little review if you enjoyed the workshops. Tell others, come back. This is free. If you want to have another go, if you want to listen to me yapping yet again, every time is different because I always forget what I've done last time, or there will be some new stories or whatever. But do come along anytime that you want. Like I said, there's a free invitation. Invite others, share this beautiful journey, and let me know if this has served, if it's inspired you, if it has given you something to work with. I look forward to seeing what you will be bringing and manifesting in this world. And those of you who I will connect with, those of you that will be booking a chat, I'll look forward to chatting to you soon as well. Thank you. See you on the other side. I'm going to be stopping the recording here. Just bear with me.